Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be going over Potomac Beads Best Bead Box XL for the month of July 2021. So we're going to look and take a sneak peek at the very opening of this box. So on the inside we see that our theme this month is going to be Swan Lake. And again, this is the Best Bead Box XL. For those of you who are just getting the Best Bead Box, it will have one less, actually, I'm sorry, I think it's 2 less patterns, and some of the supplies within the box are going to be only for one of those patterns versus 2 of the patterns that you will see in this box. So moving on, we're going to look at the Swan Lake. If you'd like to read this, you can, but I'm not going to read all of it. Taking a quick look at some of our patterns we have here, we have the Sasha component pattern, things required for that pattern. We have the rhythmic raw necklace and the supplies you will need for that. And as our bonus pattern, we have the swing drop earrings, and these are the supplies you will need for that. I will go into each pattern and the supplies that are required for each one as I go through the box. Here's a sneak peek. I'm going to set it aside and we'll go through those individually. So starting out, looking at our bonus pattern, the swing drop earrings, I would like to say that sometimes you will find the supplies within the box, not all of them, but just a few of the items. But a lot of times you will find that some of these items and supplies were in previous boxes. So just go through some of your boxes and look and see if you have any of these already in your collection or your stash. But beyond that, most of them are simple things that you can find already, such as the seed beads. I'm sure you have plenty of those around if you're a beader. So let's move on, because I'm going to put this aside since it is our bonus pattern. We probably won't have many items that will go with this pattern inside of there. So moving along, on the back of our little page with our theme of Swan Lake, you will have the list of all of the things that you have inside of this box here, the beads for your stash and the 2 pattern and components that go to that. So let's get to looking at that. The first pattern we're going to look at is the Sasha component. Again, here are all of the things needed to make this project, and this box, the Best Bead Box XL, does come with everything you need to make this project. So we're going to take the contents of this bag out to get a better look at everything you get. The first thing we see is the mini round duo beads, pastel petrol, and these are 4mm. They come in these resealable bags here. Here is our mini round duo beads in the petrol blue. It's a very soft, beautiful coating on there. I love that there are the 2 holes. Lots of fun for bead weaving. The next item we have is the Toho 11-0 seed beads perma finish in the color almond. We're going to take a closer look at that beautiful color. The almond is actually gorgeous. It's not bronze, it's not gold, it's exactly what it says, almond. Wow. You know, when you do something like that, that's grand. So, pause. These are the Toho 11-0 seed beads in the color almond. It is such a gorgeous color. Very earthy, beautiful seed bead there. The next item for the Sasha component are these really cute but simple ball earring wires. So we're gonna look at these, even though we all know what earring wires look like. Oh, I did not know that, but it also came with wire guardians. I love using those. I think it makes a really completed and clean look to all of your pieces. The next item we have are these perfect form squares in the 20 millimeters antique brass. Let's see how many you get of these. You get a total of 8 of these squares here. One of my squares is a little bent, but that's okay. I can always fix that. Those are a lot of fun. I think that peyote stitching around these, or just like in the pattern, you could do something really cool, but peyote stitch is so much fun on little wires. So moving on, we're going to look at our next item for this pattern. It is the Toho 80 seed beads in transparent rainbow frosted. This is such a beautiful color. You definitely see through these. Like it says, it's slightly transparent, so you do catch some of that beautiful turquoise through it. But when the sun is shining on it, or certain light shining on it, you get a lovely rainbow on these beads. That is so gorgeous. And with this petrol blue, that's beautiful. They kind of just blend right in there. Beautiful. So moving on, we're going to look at these Pie Duo beads in white teal luster. This is one of my favorite finishes. It doesn't come off. I've tried many times and different things to see if the finish will come off, and I love it because it doesn't. So these Pie Duo colors are gorgeous, slightly minty, but I feel like it's more of an antique mint. The Pie Duo is exactly as it says. It's shaped like a pie piece, and the holes run down the sides this way, and they are quite separated on the other side this way. Moving on to our last item for this right here pattern, the sachet component, we have the Eva beads in aluminum silver. These are the 6x9 millimeters. These are quite smaller than the chevron beads, and they have 2 holes on either side of the straight edges of the arrow. Love the color. Can be used with almost anything. That was everything for the sachet component pattern. I think that the colors are beautiful. Everything looks wonderful together. These metal squares, you get so many. That's a lot of pairs of earrings. So much fun. The third and final pattern in the Best Bead Box XL was this rhythmic raw necklace, and everything needed here below. I'm going to set it here so you can keep an eye on the things that we need as I pull them out of here. And this is the bag that it came in, with all of the contents separated out together to keep your project together. Pulling it out, I see a lot of seed beads, which is a lot of fun. However, the most exciting part, I think, is this gorgeous amethyst round 4mm beads. I'm in love with the natural gemstones. I'm happy that they are being incorporated. So here's my beautiful strand of amethyst. The amethyst rounds are gorgeous. These are the components here in the center of that project. Those are so pretty. Moving on, we have some Miyuki seed beads in galvanized silver, size 15-ohs. It's always so fun to get 15-ohs because I can't find them here at many of my shops. Always looking to grab for some 15-ohs when I'm trying to bezel something. Next, we have this lobster clasp here to go with our necklace. Of course, you can use any clasp from a toggle clasp and save this for another project, but they included one for you just in case you want to use this in this project. The next three items are going to be seed beads, and I'm going to start out with the largest, which is the Toho seed beads, and this is the 8.0 semi-glazed navy blue. If the bags look different, I have prepackaged some of the ones that are heat sealed just for my own convenience in opening them here. This is an extremely matte, non-translucent color, but the color is spot on with that navy blue. And next to that purple from the amethyst, it starts to pool a little purple. It's such a dark blue that it pools so much purple. It's kind of tricking my eyes a little bit actually. So the next seed bead is going to be the 11.0 Miyuki seed bead in silver lined green. I cannot express to you how gorgeous this color is. You get a mix of purples with blue and green. Since it is silver lined, it does give a hint of lime as well. It is gorgeous. And out of this project, I think that this and the amethyst are my two favorite beads in this. I'm gonna zoom this in for a minute, so we can appreciate the juiciness, the gloriousness that is this beautiful Miyuki seed bead. Absolutely stunning combination this month. It always feels to me a little Mardi Gras when it comes to purples and greens being combined together, but so much fun regardless. The Swan Lake, I really feel is picked up in the petrol blues here, this here with the greens. I just think it's gorgeous, just so gorgeous. And when you think of swan, for some reason I think of gilded items. So with this and these, it definitely, for me, gets the Swan Lake going. That theme definitely makes sense with that one. Our last item is the Toho Seed Beads 11.0 semi-glazed in the Honeydew. This is such a pretty color green. It is completely matte. There's no sheen on it, but what I would like to say is, I'm going to zoom in. This Honeydew has speckles of what looks to be kind of brownish black speckles on these. What you would think would be tiny little freckles on a robin's egg, these kind of have that a little bit, but it's so tiny and light that you really have to look very closely. All right, so I'm going to compile everything together and give you one last look at everything we've got in this month's July 2021 Best Bead Box XL from Potomac Beads. This is absolutely everything that you get with each one of these two patterns here, along with the extra pattern you have here, all packaged up with their quantities. I'm going to set this aside and then we'll go through what else is in the box for our collection / our stash. I think that we have gotten a wonderful variety of seed beads here between the two 8.0s, the 15.0s, and the 11.0s here. It is so gorgeous. And these almonds here are Toho, and they have slightly different shape, and I think that they are so fun. They're almost shaped a little bit like the delicas in how they're cut. So moving on, we're gonna look at things for our collection and stash. I did want to point one thing out before I get into the contents of the box. I wanted to say that all of the findings that are in here, from the lobster clasp to anything else you see, are plated in silver. So they are silver plated and they are perfectly fine for all of those with sensitive ears. So moving into our next category, we're going to look at beads for your stash / beads for your collection. The first item we have is the Arabesque beads in Opal Pale Purple Gold Wash. These have to be some of the most beautiful beads I have seen. Now, I showed these to my husband who, you know, doesn't really care too much about beads, and he thought these were just so cool. So the Swan Lake, these, he said, look like swans, and I did not even tell him that the theme was swans. So what a great job they did at picking these beautiful beads out. Look at this. And again, I love transparency. This has so much transparency in it, along with that periwinkle color, even though it says purple. It is just a beautiful periwinkle shade here. Let's see if we can get some more. These are my favorite, I think, for the beads for your stash. I do have one other favorite that is coming up, but these are stunners. Look at that detail. The next item for your stash is something that I think everyone needs, and I was super thankful to have gotten this month, and this is the Bead Ruler. This is absolutely awesome. Here you have so many different things that you can use to help you along the way of your beading. So whether it be the millimeter of the wire, which is right here, sorry, I think I have it backwards, there we go, sorry. The millimeter of the wire, whether it's on its end or turned sideways, or the millimeter of your bead. And I think not only that, but you have a ruler on both ends with different measurements. So it may look a little foggy, but there is a sticker or a little coating here that you can peel off to make it clear if you would like to take that off. But isn't this so awesome that you get one of these? I think that little tools that come in these boxes that can help everyday beaders or the beginner beaders is perfect. I mean, to be honest, I don't have one of these, and this is going to come in handy for me so much. Next, we are going to look at our Potomac Crystal Rivolis, and these are the 8 millimeters, and these are in jet, and I mean so dark, super dark. Not a chance of seeing anything through these. They don't have any special coating. They are just jet black Rivolis. Really cute in their size, and it says that they are the 8 millimeters. The next items we're going to look at are what I consider to be findings, even if it is a button. So we are going to look at the cup buttons in aluminum silver, and I'm really excited to receive these this month because the past few boxes didn't really have any cup buttons. I think it was 3 boxes ago that might have had one of them in there, but this is just so pretty. I love these. They're cute, and I love to embellish the centers of these. It is a lot of fun to do, and as you see, little cups. They almost resemble the piggy bead, which I love saying it, but they do. They're really cute. Moving on, we're going to look at our other findings, which is the Bead Cap Flowers, and these are 5 millimeters, and they are premium 99.9% silver plated. These are extremely dainty, very thin, but the detail, let me see if I can pick one up, on these is fluted and really pretty. And you get quite a few more of those actually. Let me put them all on here. So you have these gorgeous bright silver bead caps. It seems like this month we're gonna deal with a lot of bright silver. The next item is the curved tube bead, and this is the 37 by 2 millimeters. Again, it is 99.9% pure silver plated. These are so much fun. So many things you can do with them. The holes run down this way, whether you want to string them and put a beaded bead on here, or if you would like to, you could bead along this yourself, or if you want, you could even possibly put 2 together and bead beads in between if you're doing some wire working. The possibilities are endless with these, and it is wonderful. In this box, you receive a total of 5 here. Moving on, we have these Crimp tube beads. They are 1.5 by 1.5 millimeters, and lastly, and again, they are 99.9% silver plated. They are a premium metal, super tiny, But these crimp tubes are really nice in how they are formed. Their thickness around the circle is perfect size. They are not just going to break on you. They're not little flimsy ones that you can just bend. However, the color is awesome and matches with the rest of our findings that we have this month. I love getting things like this because I know that I forget to buy findings a lot of times. I'll get so excited with a sale and I'll go buy some beads and then forget findings. So I really love that they include the findings. So many of them anyways. Next, we're gonna move into some really fun items. I think we're gonna start with our Miyuki Bugle Beads Metallic Dark Blue Iris, and these are the 6mm. This iris is gorgeous. You pick up so many purples and blue, hence the iris. Gorgeous rainbow on these beads. It seems like a very black base to them, coated with this. All of the beads seem to be quite uniform. Exactly what you would expect from Miyuki. Very uniform and less likely to cut your string. So, and dump the whole pile out just so you can see how much you actually get. Which I'm making myself a lot to clean up later, but that's okay. Moving on, we have these Tublet beads, crystal etched vitriol, and it is the 6 by 2.8mm. These are stunning. That mattified finish with the etched vitriol is gorgeous. It's like a peacocking on one side, but the etched just gives it this natural stone look. And I think anything like that, especially because it has some translucency, just makes me go crazy. It's like candy for the eyes. You catch all of these beautiful rainbows in there with that muted glass, almost like a sea glass. One of my favorites, absolutely beautiful. So far, the beads for your collection or stash are perfection, just gorgeous. Moving on, we're going to look at the Potomac Crystal Rondell beads in metallic, and I'm not sure where they were going for this, but it's almost like an olive, I think, but a 2 by 3mm. Let me see what this says on the back of this sheet here. This says, it just says Rondells. It does not give us the color, so it does say metallic, but I'm not sure which type it is. I'm not 100% sure. Anyhow, these are the 2 by 3mm. We're gonna get a closer look at these. These pick up so much yellow with a little bit of lime, and on the edges you get a tiny hint of pink and blue. These would match so many things, and with those bugle beads and those black, jet black right here, crystals, these Rivolis, this is so pretty together. I'm gonna put these here just so you can see what I mean. Those colors together are lovely. Brilliant. So this is the check faceted round beads. I think what they were going to say is that they were the turquoise with the light Vega luster, because I do see this gorgeous purple on there. These are 3mm, and I think you'll see what I mean by the light Vega luster on these blue beads. It is gorgeous. They are the perfect undertone for that Vega luster of purple. Let me zoom in so you can see a little bit closer. What a very, very pretty color of blue. That definitely takes me to Swan Lake. That is a beautiful luster, the Vega on there. It does remind me so much of the water with a sunset, you know, coming over the water. So pretty. Next, our item is the check faceted Rondell beads. This is light sapphire. These are 3 by 5 millimeters. It's a huge bag. The transparency and bubble in this glass is, oh my goodness, lovely. Eye-catching, gemmy, just like a beautiful crystal. I would love to say that this is like an aquamarine, but it is so much lighter. It is so gorgeous. Perfection in my mind. This is just so gorgeous. Let me see, dark. It's almost like they glow. So pretty. The next 2 items on our list are going to be different sizes of bicones and in the shades of green. One of them is my favorite, but let's start with my least favorite out of the 2, and that would be the Potomac Crystal bicones. So this is the Potomac Crystal bicones in Emerald AB. These are 3 millimeters. I love getting small bicones, especially because of my bead weaving addiction. So these are so tiny and cute, and with that AB finish makes them sparkle so much. Just sparkling. Reminds me of a park where you would go to see these beautiful swans. The last item for beads for your collection is my favorite of the bicones, and it is the Potomac Crystal Bicones Green Opal in 4 millimeter. I love the look of the milk glass. It could be pink, it could be white, yellow, any color. If it is opal-y, I love it. Opal-y has that translucence that I love with a little bit of that milky color, and this minty green is one of my favorite colors. I love green, but the mint, anything pastel is going to be leaning towards more of my favorite colors. These are stunning, and 4 millimeters, giving it 1 size above that last bicone that we have, which is perfect if you're trying to graduate on a pendant or anything else you're doing. Those were stunning. So this is everything for the beads for your collection or for your stash. I'm going to put all of the other items that we got in the entirety of the box here in the screen so that you can see, and we'll take one last look at everything that you can get in the best Bead Box XL for this month of July 2021. I'll be back. So that's a wrap. That's absolutely everything from the July 2021 Best Bead Box XL, from all of your extras down here to everything you need for your patterns along here. I think it was such a wonderful kit this month. It was beautiful, the blues and the greens. They're just so gorgeous, and I love the addition of the natural gems. I hope everyone has a wonderful day and a wonderful rest of the week. Bye.